Good afternoon. I have dealt with anxiety for all of my life. I have always felt my mind running at 100 miles per hour every day, every minute, every second of every day. And it's always thinking, it's always wondering, it's never settling. Anxiety affects 40 million adults. That's almost 1 in 5 people. And when you really think about that, it affects almost any person that you know. How many people are in your family? Probably 5, right? And if you're counting your aunts, your uncles, your grandpas, your cousins, your sisters, everyone, it probably affects more than that. And I mean, if you are one of the people that suffer, then you know that it affects more than one. According to NDAA.org, anxiety disorders are highly treatable, yet only 36.9% of those suffering receive treatment. That's scary. That means that 25,240,000 people are left suffering. It is also common for someone with an anxiety disorder to suffer from depression, and nearly half of those diagnosed with depression are also diagnosed with anxiety. The two go hand in hand. So it's crazy to think that many people in the world are left untreated to something that people say is highly treatable. I think the reason behind this is the stigma that surrounds mental health and anxiety as a whole. People don't like people knowing their business, right? People don't like people knowing that they have anxiety. They don't like them to know that they are dealing with something, even though it's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm proud of it. I'm open about it because I know that it's nothing to be ashamed of because, as I said earlier, 40 million adults deal with it too, right? They're dealing with the same thing that I deal with every day. So those with anxiety can attest to the fact that it leads to rapid heart rate, palpitations, and chest pain. It can even put you at an increased risk of high blood pressure and even heart disease. Health.harvard.edu defined anxiety as exaggerated worry about health, safety, money, and other aspects of daily life for up to 6 months, often accompanied by muscle fatigue, headaches, nausea, breathlessness, and insomnia. So most people who deal with anxiety have probably dealt with an anxiety attack or a panic attack before. They say that you really only have 1 panic attack or 2 in a lifetime, hopefully, because they're scary. And Mayo Clinic defines a panic attack as a sudden episode of intense fear that triggers severe physical reactions when there is no real danger or apparent cause. Panic attacks can be frightening. When panic attacks occur, you might think you're losing control, having a heart attack, or even dying. So if so many people are suffering from these terrible things, then why aren't more people being treated? Like I said, I really do think it's because of the stigma that surrounds it and the lack of education. A study done in 2013 decided that 1 in 6 Americans take a psychiatric drug to help manage anxiety. But I think that people may believe that this is the only way you can manage your anxieties. But that can't be the only way, right? If only 1 in 6 Americans are taking that drug, that's why so many are being left untreated, because maybe they believe that's the only way they can help manage their anxieties. But I'm here to relieve you. There are so many other ways to manage your anxiety and help with these anxious behaviors. Number 1, yoga. I'm sure you've heard it before. I'm going to tell you about it again. Yoga postures ease the physical discomfort and that is caused by anxiety. Meditation, relaxation, exercise, or just the social aspect part of being there with people you enjoy and doing these activities can help relieve your stress. I'm not saying you need to join a class and pay a monthly bill. I mean, just stretching in the morning when you wake up, stretching in the morning or stretching at night before you go to bed, just doing something simple, just giving yourself that time to get calm. And it is also known that if you do some yoga before you go to bed, it'll help you sleep at night. And I talked about earlier the insomnia that can be caused by anxiety, so maybe it'll help with that as well. Number 2, a new outlook. And I mean, just trying to remain positive is the key to managing your anxiety, and accept the fact that you can't control every little thing, right? You need to put your stress in perspective. I know this is something I struggle with really, really bad. I feel like I just get tunnel vision when I'm getting super anxious or I feel like an anxiety attack is coming on. And I can only think of the negative things. I can only think of the one thing that's bothering me, and I'm thinking about it over and over and over and over and over again, right? But once you really take a step back and you look at this problem, is it really as bad as you think? Is it going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 months? Is it going to matter in 5 years? And I know that's something that's so hard to do in the moment because you're freaking out, but if you can, just take those couple breaths and just try to remain positive and know that it's all going to be okay and not to stress about it, then that will help as well. My third favorite one is dogs. It may seem silly, but spending time with pets, or dogs in my case, can reduce your stress and anxiety. According to a study done by psychologytoday.com, in 2015 that proved only 12% of children with a pet dog met the criteria for anxiety, compared to the 21% of children without a dog. So there you can see almost a 10% difference in the amount of the kids that had anxiety versus those who didn't. And it just helps prove that, petting a dog even just relieves your stress as you're doing it, and having that companionship too just is really awesome. So overall, I'm hoping to break the stigma that surrounds anxiety and mental health as a whole. I told you my stories, and I really hope that you continue to tell yours, because if there are 40 million people suffering from anxiety, you must know someone who is suffering too. It's not just me. And if you don't know anyone, then you at least know that I am too. And if we all took the time to just talk about it, I think it would help break the stigma around it, and you might realize how many people suffer as well. It saddens me that there are 25 million people that still suffer from anxiety when there are so many ways to manage it. I mean, I listed just a few, but there are so many different ways as well. And I know that it isn't curable, but I do believe that just changing your mindset can help get you a new outlook on your life and the anxieties that you're feeling and the stress that you're getting from them. And when you do decide to go talk to someone, because you should talk to anyone about it, break that stigma, I think you should invite them to exercise with you or meditate with you, because I think you'll learn and gain a new kind of relationship with them just from talking about it, sharing your stories. Maybe they'll share back with you, and you will realize that you're not alone, because 40 million adults are dealing with it as well. So you have to find someone out there who can have that, share your, commonalities with you. But there is a quote I found by an anonymous author that I would like to end with. Not everything that weighs you down is yours to carry. Remember that. Talk to someone. Thank you.